probably wondering about Sky Quartermain's appeal, and I want you to know that
I won't
will be on it
argue
in
a
the next...
postponement.
And why would I want one?
My God, Alexis. The Quartermain just passed away. Christina's great-grandmother. I would think that you would want to take some time off so that Christina could be with her family at this time.
Something you need?
Oh, I was just gonna get a vase to put these flowers in. I thought they might help or something. Maybe it's too simplistic.
No. It's terribly thoughtful of you. Roses are Lila's favorite flower.
I know that there's no meeting scheduled. That's why I'm calling, to schedule it. I want to make it crystal clear to the Charity Guild members that I have every intention of taking over for my mother and chairing in her stead. Now, will you arrange it and get back to me?
Nurse Foligno, please.
Are you absolutely sure you can manage it?
Nurse Foligno, please call the nurse.
Good.
But I have had it with your constant interference.
Are you talking to me?
You know, my foundation would benefit from a cooperative association with the Charity Guild, and since you are so determined just to sabotage everything I do, I'll just go straight to Lila.
Let me know what she says. She's dead.
Hey, thanks for meeting me.
Oh, you know I would.
Are you okay?
I miss grandmother. Having a hard time wrapping my mind around the fact that she's gone.
I know, me too.
I want to do something that grandmother would want. And that means taking care of the family. The only catch is, I'll need your help.
Emily, I loved Lila. And I want to help you, God knows, in any way that I can. But when it comes to the family, there's just not a whole lot that I can do. I went to the house. I'll be at the funeral. I can share the Quartermain's pain and loss because I feel it. But as far as being some kind of comfort to them, I don't even know how to do that.
All you have to do is show up. Jace, I'm not asking you to move in. Just be a presence in their lives. Everyone knows grandmother's the only reason you ever went near that house or had a civil word to say to any one of them. And now she's gone. And they've not only lost the heart and soul of our family, they've lost their last connection to you. And it scares them. Jace, whether they burden you with that fear or not, please, just stay in touch. That's all I'm asking.
You're the one I'm worried about. And you and Lila were so close. You have your own pain to work through. Don't get so caught up in taking care of everybody else that you forget to take care of yourself.
Get it. I have you to come to lean on. That's so much more than the rest of them have.
Tracy, I hadn't heard. I'm so sorry.
You are sorry. Thank God Jason finally mustered up the courage to divorce you. And my my mother could live out the last months of her life with the comfort and satisfaction of knowing that you were no longer part of her family.
Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that you would express your pain through anger. But I loved Lila, okay, and I respected her. So I will honor her right now by making allowances for her daughter.
Clearly, you mistook good breeding and impeccable manners for affection. You were inconsequential to my mother, as you are to me.
I have a play date with Linda, and I'm supposed to bring cookies.
Well, I know you are, so here you go. You can help yourself. So how's the babysitting going?
Couldn't be better. Lulu and I have been having a blast. Oh, and by the way, all the arrangements have been made for me to take care of Leslie when she's released from the hospital.
I talked to Leslie this morning. She's just so disappointed. She's not going to be out in the hospital in time to go to Lila Quartermain's funeral.
Lila died?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought everyone knew. She passed away in her sleep last Tuesday.
I can't believe it. I can't imagine this town without Lila Quartermain, can you?
No, actually.
And Edward. Oh, God, they were married forever. He must be devastated.
One of the things that I remember about coming here when I was little is that she always used to have fresh cut roses everywhere, you know. And her dresses, the long ones that she wore, were always pink and blue. She was beautiful. She told me that she'd teach me how to do needlepoint. I wish we'd done that.
So do I, sweetheart.
Anyway.
Hey, Mr. Q, I brought you some roses. Now all I need is one of Lila's gorgeous face. Well, looks like someone beat me to it. Not that this is remotely any of your business, but I happen to hold Lila Quartermain in the highest regard. However, my daughter barely knew her. My daughter is a child. I don't think it would be appropriate for her to be exposed to grieving strangers.
Well, the only reason that Christina is a stranger to the Quartermains is because that's the way you seem to want it. And I've never really understood that. True, the Quartermains leave a lot to be desired in the family lottery. But they're no better or worse than any family that I can see. I mean, at least they're not dangerous, right? Ned, in particular, he seems to be completely unobjectionable. He's a successful businessman. As far as I can see, he strikes me as a potentially loving father if you give him half a chance.
Your speculation into my domestic arrangement is not only a personal violation of my privacy, but it is a breach of professional ethics. And I will never be too busy in any day to file a complaint with the Bar Association.
Whoa. Please explain to me what you find so reprehensible about my belief that Christina's family should be able to see her from time to time, once in a blue moon even. Look, you just said that Lila Quartermain was a beloved and admired woman. Now, what if Christina finds out about her one day? She also finds out that you kept her from this woman who was so amazing that was her great-grandmother.
I'm not worried. I don't know why you are. Christina has all the family she needs.
Don't be so sure.
Guess you and I had the same idea.
Like you said, great minds and all. Anyway, I came to bring the flowers, but my mom's here, so she can arrange them for you.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Sure.
Honey, why do you feel like you have to leave just because I showed up?
Ma, it's not that, all right? It's just I have 1,000 things to do. Bye.
Brooklyn, wait a minute. It's one of Lila's favorites. I think she'd want you to have it. I know I do.
Thank you. I'll keep it forever. Bye, Mom. to home last night. The Cirillos, they sent their condolences. They really loved and admired Lila. So did I, of course.
Really?
You have to ask?
Well, was it just an effort for you to let Lila see her great-granddaughter then?
Because I am a stupid idiot. And because I made the mistake of assuming that Lila would always be around, and I would have time to visit and reconnect, and bring her roses, and ask her advice. But most importantly, that my daughter Brooklyn would get the chance to know the amazing woman who was her great-grandma. And now the clock has run out, and I'm not going to get that chance. And worse, because of the stupid choices I made, neither is my daughter. And I deeply regret that.
I lived my entire adult life with Lila. I loved her with all my heart. I made the exact same mistake.
Em, I'm so sorry to hear about Lila. Is there anything at all I can do for you?
No, have a seat. That's the hardest part. It's irretrievable, and there's absolutely nothing anyone can do but feel her loss and wish that there was something or anything that they could do to pay appropriate tribute to who grandmother was and what she left behind.
I realize that a piece of chocolate cake is not the same as donating thousands to a worthy cause in Lila's name, but it is a treat to be savored, and Lila liked those.
Yes, she did. Thank you, Bobby. Do you want to have a seat?
Oh, thanks. Well, hope you're prepared, because you've got your work cut out for you.
How do I know that you're referring to my family?
I've watched Lila hold the Quartermains together for decades. And I've watched her train you to do the same. The mantle has passed.
Geez, no pressure or anything.
Managing your family takes strength, patience, and a fierce sense of humor. And it also comes in handy if you're able to convince people to do things they don't want to do.
Like getting Jason to let the family stay at Michael's baptism.
When those church doors opened and the entire Quartermain contingent came storming down the aisle, I thought I would die.
Jason was ready to throw them all out.
Jason, dear, no one can argue with your decision to exclude us. It has good sense and painful experience on its side. But if this ceremony is allowed to go on without incident, in silence and uninterrupted, would you consider throwing us out a little later, please?
And even I couldn't believe it when grandmother got Jason to back down.
Gentle persuasion. That was Lila's special gift. And she mastered it. Now she's passed it on to you. So use it wisely, Emily. Do what Lila would have wanted.
Jason. I heard about Lila. I'm so sorry.
You know she was in pain almost all the time.
No, I had no idea.
Most people didn't. She never complained.
But you knew.
Yeah, I know. And at least she doesn't have to hurt anymore. She doesn't have to wonder about the choices she made. She finally understands what her life was about. It's the people who are left behind who have to struggle. You know, grandmother never made me feel guilty for staying away. But she missed me. I know how bad that hurts because I can feel how much I miss her.
great. A distraction.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to write Lila's obituary, and I am failing miserably. I mean, it should be easy, right? Just a list, where she was born, where she grew up, her children, clubs she belonged to, charities she supported. I mean, it's an entire life that's condensed into a couple of paragraphs that are fitting into the Port Charles Herald. It doesn't even begin to describe her.
Don't even put that pressure on yourself, Mom. I mean, everyone who knew and loved Grandmother knows that she defies description. And besides, she couldn't abide obituaries. She called them posthumous bragging. I'm inclined to agree.
You and Lila discussed obituaries?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything we didn't cover over the years.
You want to know something I haven't told anybody?
Sure.
I was so jealous of your relationship with Lila. I wanted to be your role model. I wanted to be the woman that you came to with your deepest feelings. And now all I can do is just thank God that you had the benefit of her grace and her wisdom for as long as you did.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. You're staying home today, are you?
She's hovering.
Not true. It helps me to be with my parents.
Really? I think you realize how much it helps us to be with you. You're such a comfort, sweetie. I wish I could be the same for my own father.
Alice said I could come back.
Oh, Felicia, it's so good to see you. Come sit with me. Come.
I brought you something. I thought Lila would want you to have it.
Thank you. Lila's memoirs.
Unfortunately, we didn't finish it. I got through the first 3/4 of the first draft, but I kept the notes, and this is all for you.
It is very kind of you. I know how much work there was for this, so I appreciate it very much.
It was fun.
For Lila, too.
You're probably not ready to read it right now, but when you do, you will see, as clear as day, the first moment that Lila saw you, she fell in love with you, and her love grew from there. You were everything to her.
I've been looking for you.
Not now, Faith.
I'm interested in changing attorneys. Alexis may be competent, but she's way too neurotic for me. And for obvious reasons, she isn't.
This is a really bad
personally-
time to revive what you call scary version of flirtation. I have things in my mind that are far more important.
Big case?
Unexpected death.
Oh, well, my hand on the Bible, Mr. Officer of the Court. I had absolutely nothing to do with the unexpected demise of, who?
Lila Quartermain. One of the finest people who ever drew breath. She was kind, courageous, compassionate. I could sing her praises all day long, but just suffice to say she was the complete antithesis of you.
Yeah. I may be cold. Some would even say heartless. But I can see that you're hurting, and I am sorry for that.
You know, this is the first time you've called me without using the foundation as an excuse to see me, which is a sign that you're weakening, but I won't turn it to my advantage, at least not yet anyway.
I can see by your mood that you haven't heard the news.
And I can see by yours it's not very good news.
Lila Quartermain died. She went peacefully in her sleep.
Damn it.
Michael.
Hey, Jason. Mommy and Daddy are out, but Letitia's gonna take me, Morgan, to the park. You wanna come?
The park's gonna have to wait. There's something important that we need to discuss. Come on over here.
Either I'm in trouble or something bad happened.
Oh, why do you say that?
Because we're sitting on the couch. Which is it?
Well, you're not in trouble. Let's see, you know AJ's your biological father.
Yeah, but Sonny's my real dad.
Right, Sonny is your dad, but the biology part means that there are people who are related to you through AJ. Okay, and they don't know you very well, but they still care about you a lot.
The Quartermains.
That's right, the Quartermains. Do you remember, my grandmother, Lila?
Sure, the lady in the wheelchair. I see her at the Christmas party. She waves to me.
She died. Lila is in heaven now. And she needs a favor from you.
How can someone in heaven need a favor?
Well, dying means you can't, be on this earth forever. But it doesn't end the love you felt for people when you were here. You want to keep helping them. You want what's best for them. And Lila knows that her family is sad because she's gone and she wants them to feel better.
How can I help?
Well, by going to see him. And you don't have to, Michael. Like I said, you barely know the Quartermains, and if this whole idea makes you uncomfortable whatsoever, I won't even talk about it again.
How is Lila related to me?
She was your great-grandmother.
How come I never went to see her like Grandma Bobby and Grandpa Mike?
Because a lot of fighting went on over you, who you should live with, where you should live. I mean, your parents and AJ could never settle anything, so Carly and Sonny thought it was best if you just stayed away from the Quartermains altogether.
Was Lila mad?
She wasn't like that. I mean, she knew people had reasons for the things they do, even if she didn't agree with it. Even when someone's decision hurt her, she always respected the fact that everyone had the right to choose. She did it with me every day.
You said that Lila died.
Yeah, I am.
Do you want me to go visit the Quartermains?
I'd like you to, yeah.
Then I will.
Thanks.
Another example of how I'm nothing like my father? He is stoic to the point of indifference.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, grandfather's in shock. His grief is so big he doesn't have a place for it yet.
But in a way, I envy him being able to keep his pain at a distance. I feel the loss to the depths of my soul.
And that's because you loved her. And not just with words, with your life. You kept her a constant in your life, Alan, and your children's. You were a wonderful son.
I did love her so much. I hope she knew. I hope it was good enough.
I tried to structure the book in chronological order, and I kept finding myself going back to the place where she describes meeting you. It was such a vivid memory for her. She just made it come alive. A garden party on a perfect day in Long Island. The green lawn rolling down to meet the sea. The boat docks and the tennis courts in the distance. The brick terrace. and all the beautiful flowers in the spring in bloom. She said all the women were dressed in pastels and silk, and the men wore their summer suits. She was laughing with a friend, and then she turned around, and there you were, staring right at her.
She took my breath away. I never quite got it back.
Well, she was forever grateful that she chose to wear the color blue on that day, because that was the first thing that you said to her. She was wearing your most favorite color. Edward, I brought these memoirs for you today because I know that Lila wants you to remember that garden party and all the wonderful times that you had together. In the end, all that matters is the love. And you and Lila had that. It was the best love story I ever heard.
How many times did I think about calling her? How many times did I think about just dropping by to say hello? And every time, every single time, I let myself be diverted. I mean, what was so damn important that I couldn't take a minute to honor one of the most gracious women I've ever known?
Jax, can't beat yourself up.
Why not? I knew that Lila's health was fragile, that every morning she woke up was a blessing, not a given. Why couldn't I have been there?
What is this really about, Jax? Lila? Or your father? You've told me how close you were to your father, how much you admired him, and it's been less than a year since he's been gone. You wouldn't be human if you didn't have regrets.
You know, my father went from a strong, vigorous man to a virtual invalid within less than 6 months. I mean, I called, but not often enough. I didn't get to see him until the very end.
Jax, you didn't know how bad it was. You told me yourself.
No, don't make excuses for me. I should have known, you know, that in the real world, not the fantasy world that I live in, but in the real world, people, they get older and they get sick. Then eventually they just run out of time. And now that's happened again. I didn't pay attention, and now someone else that I loved is gone.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I miss him. I miss him so much.
I just wanted you to know that I'm taking a couple of days off.
You actually listened to what I said?
You made a reasonable point about my daughter's relationship with Lila Quartermain. And I owe it to Lila to make my daughter and myself available in case anyone needs us. And of course, I will be attending the funeral.
I'll be damned.
I'm not finished. It's possible that I was a tad ungracious. Not that I condone your obsessive interest in my personal life, but I thank you just this once for pointing out my insensitivity.
You're welcome.
Don't get smug. I certainly have no intention of ever thanking you again.
Counselor, just in case you hadn't noticed, you don't really hate me as much as you think you do.
I heard from Robin. She's flying in for Lila's funeral.
I think that's great. I think it's been way too long since Robin was home.
Why does it take a loss like this to bring people together? Why can't we just make time for people when we're all still here?
Honey, I'm so glad I found you. Look, if you're here to lecture me for leaving earlier, it's only because
I'm not
really
mad. I actually came to apologize. I'm worried about Emily. Instead of letting herself mourn, she's running around crazy, taking care of everyone else.
Well, you know what? Maybe it's her own way of dealing with it.
She's lost her grandmother, Lucky. The one person she relied on and confided in, looked up to. When I think of my Gram and how much I need her, I don't know. I mean, Emily may need to be strong for everyone else, but not us. We need to be the place she can come with her pain. Agreed?
No problem. I'll do whatever Emily needs.
I dread the idea of having to bury my mother tomorrow.
I know.
Hey!
What a surprise!
Hi, what are you doing here? Not that I'm complaining.
My grandparents. And Jason thought you'd like to see me.
Well, he was right. I'm really glad to see you.
Be okay if I got a hug?
Sure.
Thank you. It is so good to see you. Good to see you, too.
I didn't know your father, but I knew Lila. You know, she didn't believe in wasting time on regret.
Well, I guess they were both advocates of living life to the fullest.
Well, then that's how we should honor them. You know, by living our lives to the fullest. Not that you don't anyway.
No, I haven't. I mean, I really haven't. I've been going through the motions. You know, I'm playing at life, but that didn't start to change until you came along.
Honey, I am not sorry for pushing you to be the best you can be and for always wanting what's good for you. And I don't regret taking you home to Bensonhurst because I truly still believe that that was the best environment for you to grow up in. But I do regret the distance I put between you and Lila. Because, honey, your great-grandma, she was a true lady in the real sense of the word. She was kind and generous. And she knew more about people than anybody I ever knew. You deserve to know her, and I robbed you of that chance. And for that, I am truly, truly sorry.
Look, it's okay. All right, I know you just trying to do your best. It's fine.
Hey, I came as soon as I got your message. Is everything okay?
No. I feel like a ride. You know, a bike ride through the woods down to the skating pond. I just wanna put my feet in the water, you know? Laugh about something stupid, you know? Maybe even a little water fight. I need to do all these things with you because you lived it with me.
How'd you know? That's exactly what I need to.
Tracy? I don't know if you remember me. I'm Heather Weber.
Heather, didn't you do something terrible a long time ago?
That's exactly right. It was a very long time ago. I've turned my life around since then. I'm back in Port Charles to reconnect with family.
Nice.
Leslie and I were talking about your mother this morning. I'm so sorry to hear about her passing. I mean, she was just a mainstay here in Port Charles, and it's just not going to be the same place without her. I was just telling Bobby that.
Did you even know my mother?
I met her several times over the years. She was always wonderful to me.
I just had this conversation with another mongrel my mother stopped to pet, and I'm going to tell you what I told her. That sliver of attention that my mother gave you does not give you the right to consider her death as a personal loss.
I know how devoted Lila and Edward were to one another.
He has to be lost without her. So I just wanted to say, if I can ever do anything to help him, please let me know.
Edward?
What are you two doing lurking out there?
I brought Michael to visit. But, if you don't want to see us, just say so and we're out of here.
You have an opinion, Michael? You want to stay?
I think that the great-grandma would like me to help the people she loved. She loved you, right?
I'm happy to say she loved me very much.
Then yes, I'll stay.
I'm glad. You ever seen any pictures of your great-grandma?
No.
Come on. Since she was younger?
Looks very pretty.
Oh. She was the most beautiful woman I ever met. To this day. Especially in blue. She was wearing blue the first day we met. You know where we met? I didn't tell you. A garden party. You know what a garden party is? It's a place we have a party on the lawn. Everybody gets dressed up, there's chairs set around, and the men are dressed in nice suits, and the women dressed in frilly gowns like this. It's a nice time. Doesn't happen too often now, though. I'm glad you're here.
Monday on The Casino, when Tim and Tom put the word out they're looking for a new act.
We need to get someone in there. Let's just do it.
The responses weren't quite what Tim was expecting.
Do you actually think I would actually approve something like that?
And Tommy tries to get in on the action.
I happen to know these two guys, Tony and Lloyd.
But he goes too far.
What is this? If they give you any problems at all, then you kill it completely.
A new episode of The Casino, Monday on CTV.
She's always there when you need her. Her love is unaltered no matter what you do. But imagine if we replaced her with another mother?
She's such a stupid moron!
Home life will never be the same.
This will be a rude awakening for him.
Wife Swap, coming this fall to CTV.
On the next General Hospital.
Your daughter-in-law is threatening to throw me out. We need to respect each other's grief.
It's good to see you.
I couldn't stay away.
I owe you more than I can ever repay.
We have come together to celebrate the life of a remarkable woman.